Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to Duxford. I'm really excited to bring this one to you. I really am. Huge thank you to MicroProse. I can't believe I'm saying that brand name. I devoured their sims back in the early 90s. It's incredible. Big thank you to them for giving me the opportunity to preview and to show in this video their new B-17G Flying Fortress. Isn't she absolutely stunning? Of course, it's an iconic aircraft known for getting its crews on target and bringing them back safely. And this is a fine example. Argyle Sal flew with the 351st Squadron of the 100th Bomb Group, and 125 missions. Just incredible. Really is incredible. It's a stunning aeroplane, and what we're going to be doing in this video is just taking a look around her, and also I'm going to be taking my first flight. I'm not an expert with the B-17 by any stretch of the imagination at all. I tend to fly single engine warbirds, so this is going to be interesting, but what an opportunity, what an aircraft. I can't wait to get going. So this B-17G is part of something that MicroProse are calling the Heritage Valor Collection, and it's their initiative to preserve and share the legacy of historic military aircraft through Microsoft Flight Simulator, combining meticulous research, advanced modelling and authentic sound design. Each release in the collection is crafted to honour the pilots, the crews and engineers who made these aircraft legendary. And what a fantastic idea. I think one of the things that appeals to me most about flying warbirds in Microsoft Flight Simulator is it's an opportunity to honour and remember the crews and also the aircraft. And I can't wait to see what else they are going to produce in this range. So as I say, this is a preview version, so some things may change. And what MicroProse are going to do is they're going to launch it as an early access release. So they're going to launch it in a state where you can fly it, where are things that you can use, things that will be working. But as time goes on, they're going to keep developing it. They've already been doing a lot of work on the project. You'll see what's available right now. But as I say, that they have other things that they are going to be doing. Essentially, what they've done is they've recreated every single feature of the B-17G, including the bomb bay, the top and ball turrets, the tail gunner's position, and every inch between. Fully animated crew stations, period correct details, and authentic sounds actually captured from the B-17 Sentimental Journey. There's also an option for modern avionics if you want to have something more modern for doing your navigation, and also period correct details. I think the idea of having modern avionics is quite interesting, because certainly for me, doing things like IFR flights with ATC, it's going to be great doing that in a B-17. I mean, that's going to be fantastic. It's got a high fidelity flight model, interior and exterior handcrafted 4K PBR textures, effects for engine vibration both inside and out, sounds from Sentimental Journey's engine, cockpit sounds recorded specifically for the add-on, and animations that can be used in multiplayer modes to further immerse the players. And hey, immersion is what it's all about. Okay, and here we are in the cockpit, and as you can see, there's a nice level of wear and tear modelled on it. It certainly does feel like this old girl has seen a few hours in the air. Quite atmospheric, I think. And again, it's all about immersion, isn't it? That is what it's about. You want to have a cockpit where you actually feel like you are sitting in there. And talking about the wear and tear there, it is something that they are going to be modelling. They're going to be modelling maintenance, wear and tear, the electrical system, that kind of thing. As I said, this is a pre-release of early access. So this is before we've even got to early access, so there are things that are going to be changed, added to, and I think it's quite brave of MicroProse, considering the weight of their brand name, to actually release the B-17 in an early access state. But they are very keen to get the feedback of the community and to work with the community to make it a fantastic aircraft in the Sims. So I think all credit to them for doing that. So a couple of things just to say. We do have we don't have the kind of EFB thing that you get in some of the modern aircraft, but we do have this clipboard, and this is very much work in progress at the moment. In this pre-early access release version, the only thing that does work is the enable crew. So if I do that, you can see we now have our crew, and we've got Matey Boy up in the top turret looking out for any of the spectators who might decide they want to start scrambling all over our lovely clean B-17 here. So I'm going to leave them up there. We'll load the crew in, and I'll put that back down there. There will come a point where you can do a lot more with that, but just worth pointing that out. There are also some controls that don't necessarily work at the moment, and also some controls that might work slightly differently as well. So I am going to do a startup, but you will notice that it's not necessarily by the book. Anyone who's used to the A2A B-17, for example, or anyone who is a B-17 expert might well be watching thinking, oh, you didn't do well. Not everything is working at the moment, or things might be working differently. For example, the mixture here in the B-17, which is the opposite to a lot of modern aircraft, the mixture position for lean is actually fully forward, whereas in a modern aircraft it would be fully back. Now in the pre-release version, where the levers are at the moment, which is the rich position on the B-17, is actually the lean position in this aircraft in the sim at the moment. It's something that they are going to put right. But so as I'm flying this, anyone who leaves a comment saying, "Oh, you had the lever in the lean position when you were meant to be having it rich," no, trust me, it's actually rich in the aircraft at the moment. It's just the way it is on there. Okay, understood? Right. Just thought I'd get that in there. Okie doke. Right, so yes, I am going to do a startup because I want you to hear the sounds and all that sort of thing, but as I say, it's not necessarily going to be by the book. In terms of controls, I've obviously got my my yoke, I've got the fulcrum yoke, I've got my TPR pedal set up. I've got a Bravo throttle control quadrant. What I've done there is I've mapped engines 1 to 4 on throttles, so I have independent throttles so that I can use that for turning on the ground and that sort of thing. I have one lever mapped to propeller pitch and one lever mapped to mixture, just because that's the easiest thing to do, and I haven't got enough levers to do everything. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Okay, so I'm going to talk a lot more about things once we get in the air, including the route map, which is quite important so that you can see what the plan is for this in the future, insofar as the information that my MicroProse have given us. I can't believe I say that word, MicroProse. Literally, early 90s, I bought an Amiga 1200, 1200, whatever it was called. I bought one of those just to play Strike Eagle 2. Someone had told me how wonderful it was. And then of course you've got Gunship and Gunship 2000, and of course you've got the B-17 Flying Fortress Mighty 8th game that I flew a lot. And ironically, I didn't necessarily, I say fly, I tended to miss out on a lot of the flying stuff. I think I used to do landings and takeoff and landings I used to do. But then the rest of the time I was just in it for the action. So this is the opposite. This is just flying it for the love of flying it, which is kind of cool. Okay, so I'm just going to do a few things. So I'm going to have we'll have battery on. There's no APU at the moment. For anyone who's saying I should have started an APU, there's no APU at the moment. So I'm just going to put the battery straight on. I'm going to put I'm going to do the inverter once we get started. That seems to be the right thing to do. I should say at the moment with this version, we've been given we haven't got a manual. We've got a bit of information in terms of checklist stuff as it's going to be. So it may well be that when this finally gets released and there's a lovely manual, a lot of the stuff where I'm going, well, I'm going to do this, will actually be a lot more clearer. But hey, we are just here. You that's you, are just here with me just to experience this aircraft and go for a flight and get an idea of what it's going to be like. Okay, so looking over here, my parking brake is on, so that's good. I've turned on the battery. What else have I done? We've got that sorted out, so that's all good. Some of these instruments aren't working at the moment, so I seem to remember in the old A2A B-17 you'd get some sort of an indication here when you turned on the batteries, but we're not necessarily seeing that. There is something down here where we can. I just had a thought. Oh, that was my head tracking just getting caught up there. Let's just move. Did that do anything? No. No. Okay. I just suddenly had a thought. It's never a good idea to play with switches when you're not sure what they're doing. Okay, so our fuel shut-off valves are all open, so that's great. Quickly checking here, landing gear is in the down position. Flaps are up. You'll notice here that this is indicating flaps down. They're not, they're up. It's another one of those little things. When we come into land, you'll see as soon as I start dropping some flap, or actually I might use a bit of flap for takeoff just so you can see, but you'll see that will suddenly change, but that's the position it's in at the moment. Right, so let's have a look. Fuel boost pumps on, and you can see the instruments here. If I show you on the fourth one, so we've got fuel pressure, so fuel pressure is good. Always good to have fuel pressure. Always a bit worrying when you don't have fuel pressure. Right, so we'll have mags on. Whoop. Yeah, mags on. Come here, get the right click spot, and boof, there we go. And I'm just gonna, I remember in the old A2A one, there we go. If I put that there, I think that means that our master is on, so all is good there. I'm going to open the cowl flaps. Let's go the other way. So they're all good to go. We can see one of the cowl flaps is opened up here, and one of the little sections, I think, I'm not sure how much that is modelled at the moment, but we'll see. We'll have a play with that in the air as well. But anyway, cowl flaps are open because that's where we want them to be. Right, now this is where we have to start looking at it. I'm going to crack the throttle. The prop is in the it says height, but actually that's high RPM, obviously, is in that position. And then, as I said, I'm going to put the mixture levers down there in the rich position. If you've jumped and you didn't read the thing before, at the moment in this aircraft, if it says rich, it actually means lean, and if it says lean, it actually means rich. The printing on here is correct as per the B-17, but at the moment, the way it's programmed, it's the other way around. So bear with me on that. Okay, so that's all good to go, and happy with that, 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 happy with that. Let's have a quick look down here. That's okay, and we are good. Okay, so first of all, we are going to start engine 3. So what I'm going to do, these switches at the moment, normally you'd kind of you'd press one and then press the other per engine. They're mapped so that they both start at the same time. So again, the starting process is a little bit simplified, but let's have a look. There we go, we've got to start. So I turn that off, quick look here, quick look over here as well, just to check that everything is looking good. We've got oil pressure, which is always a nice feeling. Right, so we want, where's it gone? We want, I think it's 1,000 RPM, so I'm just going to find the right, I can do it on this now, I forgot, can't I? There we go. There we go. So I'm just setting engine 3 to 1,000 RPM there. Perfect. Okay, so we've got 3 up and running now, and let's have a quick look. Yep, so it's engine 4 now. So let's have a look over here. engine 4. Start on engine 4. Let's close that. Quick look over here. Where is it? Engine 4. Advance the throttle a little bit so we get to 1000 RPM. And again, we've got good oil pressure, so happy with that. Lovely, lovely. Right, let's go engine 2. So again, you know how this works now. There we go, we're good on engine 2. Let's bring that back a little bit. And, oh, that's already reset itself, so it's done its thing. So now it's just engine 1. And we've got them all. All our little engines now in a line. Everybody's happy. And I can just adjust the RPMs now, just so that we're all just around about 1000. So we're warming up nicely. Quick check over here. Everything's looking good there. T's and P's are fine. Happy with that. That's all good. We're on the ground, so I'm going to put the carb filter to on for all engines. Come on, get the click spot. There we go. Super duper, paratrooper. Okay, happy with that. And then over here, you can just see, whoa, the head tracking went again there. This is how we can just have a look around. Have a look around our tanks. There we go. Okay, right, enough of that, Roberto. So we've done that. We can now have the generators on. And we can put the inverter to normal. There we go. Okay. Right. Quick look over there. Quick look over there. I think we are ready to go, are we not? Okay, there we go. 4 lovely purring engines, or grunting engines, however you want to describe it. If we look down here now, we can actually see what's happening down here. Yeah, I'm just checking that that's all on. Happy with that. Happy with that. Let's have... No, that's not working. So a couple of switches there that aren't working. I was just going to turn the pitot heat on, but it's not working at the moment. Panel light isn't doing anything at the moment, so just one of them things that they're working on, which is absolutely fine. Okay, at this point, if we wanted to, we could turn the fuel pumps off. But it does say in the checklist, unless required for takeoff, so I'm actually going to keep them on. I've got the landing gear is indicating down on the switch there. I'm going to unlock the tail wheel. So that's all good, and now we're ready to go. And I've got to remember, note to self, because I'm so used to single engine fighters, that this is a big old lumbering beast, and I've got to remember to anticipate things a little bit more, perhaps. Okay, let's move off, taking it ever so gently. And just using a little bit dab of brake there just to get us around, and also just, you can't see it, but I'm just using the engines a little bit. Now, because we're so big, I'm just going to slide over this way a little bit, because we have got quite a tight turn to take here, and I don't, my co-pilot here doesn't really say a great deal, and I've got to make that turn there, so this is going to be a little bit tricky. We'll see what we can do. Again, just using my left-hand engines just to try and help with this turn a little bit, as well as differential braking. Where is it? There we go. Well, we didn't run on the grass, so that's okay. Right, so someone will be saying, "Oh, we did do a run-up." At the moment, you can't do a mag check. I had to play with it the other day. You can't do a mag check. If I tried to do a mag check, I'd turn the mags off, and then the engines would die. But what we can do, and we will do, is we're going to run the engines up to 1700 RPM, and we are going to cycle the props. It's moving 1 and 2. So at the moment, cycling the props doesn't seem to be doing much in terms of the instruments. Okay, the bit you've all been waiting for. He hasn't. He's a little bit concerned about this. He got worried the moment I said that I didn't have much B-17 experience or fly anything this big. I don't. I tend to fly things that are much smaller. Right, hold on a minute, sunshine. Let's just hold that. Already I started taxiing a wee bit too fast. So I need to turn her. There we go. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Using my port engines. I haven't got my left and right gloves on today. Using my port engines just to help with that turn and get us lined up on the runway. I'm hoping that MicroProse will allow you to open the windows, because it would be so cool now to be able to just open that window and hear what was going on outside. Right, so I need to concentrate a second now. So I've got to anticipate that this is going to be a lumbering beast. It's not going to be that quick kind of dancing on the pedals with the fighters, and I've got to anticipate that once this builds up inertia in any particular direction, it's turning it back on to the way I want it to go as well. So smooth is the answer. Okay, everything's looking good. Engines are looking fine. Are you alright, mate? Yep, he's alright. He'll get over it. Okay, let's go. So advancing power. Oh, let me just quickly check. Takeoff, 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 takeoff. Yep. And that's all good, and happy with that. So takeoff power is, which is what I was looking for, is 45 on the manifold pressure. So 45 is our target. Okay, let's start adding some power with the brakes on. So I've got the flat of my hand against the 4 levers. Trying to use a bit of brake just to keep us on course. And she is up. Gear up. fantastic. There's Duxford over there. Just going to come back a little bit on the power a little and let's have a look at the... Okay, so now if I adjust the prop levers we can see a change. That's interesting. So the prop or the RPM factor only really comes into play obviously at higher manifold pressure or yeah, I'm not sure, maybe it's once it's airborne. Interesting. Right, quick check. Okay, I was just having a look at some paperwork over there. Right, let's get us onto course. Course is looking good. Yep, trim is working, so I can trim it, which is nice. Just coming back a little bit on a few bits and bobs just to calm everything down a little bit. But we're looking good. She's lovely. Quite interesting to see. Looks like our direction indicator, that kind of thing, isn't working, but our whiskey compass is, so that's kind of handy. We've got the turn and... oh no, that is... okay, that looks a little bit... I was looking at the turn and slip indicator. So our ball is good, but we... turn indicator seems a little bit off. That's okay. Right, let's have the fuel pumps off now. Okay, didn't like that. Fuel pressure's just completely dropped there, so I'm a little bit nervous, so I'm going to keep those on. Because that feels a little bit more comfortable. Don't want to risk anything that's going to kill our engines, because we're here for a nice flight rather than worrying about things. We can now, if I can get to it, and oh, it's hard to reach it through there, so I'll get up here. There we go. Just close the cowl flap. So the animation there doesn't seem to be doing anything at the moment because they've stayed in their position, so we can just ignore that. And then let's do it properly this time. Don't think anything is changing there. No. Okay, so now I'm going to lock that off. Trying to reach the click spot through the... there we go. And you, my friend, there. Okay, that's all good. Brilliant. Right, so now we're riding quite high, and I've got so carried away flicking switches. We need to get back on course, don't we, mate? Yes. Okay, so I promised you I was going to talk about the roadmap, and obviously that's quite a key part of this. So the information that we have at the moment from MicroProse is this. On the initial release, which is what's going to be happening on the 9th of October, we get all the basic systems. Initial flight model, that's initial flight model, full crew, first pass on animations, prototype initial testing of the clipboard system, and 6 liveries. Update 1 is going to be bug fixes, texture improvements, system updates. Update 2 is going to be much of the same. Update 3 is going to be much of the same. Final release is going to be everything. So crew configuration system, a maintenance mode, optional modern avionics, as I mentioned at the beginning, a paint kit, and then after that we're going to have improved and or new features, bug fixes, system tuning, etc. The planned time between these updates is 2 weeks, but obviously it may vary depending on what's going on. But there you go, that is the roadmap that MicroProse have got for this. So there's not going to be much time in between all the different stages of it, but it's going to be interesting to see how things go. I cannot wait for Parallel 42 to release Flow for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, so I can get rid of that horrible menu bar at the top. So there you have it. So I can say, in terms of the flight model as it is at the moment, I, as a wannabe fighter pilot, as it were, can feel the difference. It feels like a big, heavy bomber. It certainly doesn't feel like a nimble little fighter. If I move the yoke around, you can see it's not like a GTA plane where it's just flicking around in the sky. It really does feel like it has some weight to it. And me doing what I was just doing there, I almost feel like someone's going to tell me off, purely because there's guys in the back who are going to be shouting out, "What the hell is the pilot doing?" But you definitely feel that you've got some weight. And already I'm anticipating that the landing is going to be quite interesting for me to do, not being used to flying and landing aircraft of this size. So let's face it, the approach may not be the best thing you've ever seen. I do love the scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The details on the ground are quite lovely. Now this is a good point to say. I was saying before about how I used to fly the Mighty 8th, which was the combat sim. A lot of my warbird flying, I say a lot, pretty much all my warbird flying these days is flying warbirds in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Previously I was flying them in P3D, and I fly them as modern restoration. So when I'm flying the aircraft, I'm thinking more in terms of as if like in this instance, as if I was flying Sally B. I'm not interested in simulating combat or anything like that. That's Honington down there for anyone who's interested. I'm not interested in simulating combat. I'm simulating an aircraft in the modern world that's been lovingly restored, has got a whole load of people who are putting money into it to keep it in the air, and that's what I am doing. And it kind of links in really nicely with what MicroProse are doing with this series of aircraft, is to remember and to honour and to keep people thinking of these incredible old machines and the crews that flew in them. So you can see here we're in the nose with the bombardier, who's now manning the guns at the moment. You get a really nice feel for that. They've even included the branding for the aluminium there, just as it was. Lots of really nice detail there. Ammunition there for the cheek gun. And here's our nav. Good chap. My kids, their great-grandfather was a nav on B-17s out of Kimbolton. And that's where he would have sat. Really does just go to show the bravery of these guys. I cannot imagine sitting there with 190s and 109s ranging around you, shooting at you, even though you've got all these guns to try and help defend. Okay, so back here we have some equipment, some oxygen storage. Then we have the big old bomb bay. At the moment we can't open the bomb doors, but I'm sure that will come. That gives you an idea of just how vast this is. We've got our radio man here doing his thing. Lots more equipment, more radio equipment. You really do get an idea. I can't wait to see. Of course, they're working on some other B-17 games as well, MicroProse, including the VR one, and I can't wait to see what that's like. Okay, have a look at the chaps in the back there. Got our two waist gunners. The beautiful English countryside rolling by. And let's go have a look at the back. And here is our tail gunner, bless him. You imagine being stuck here, firing your guns with all your might, with aircraft who are trying to kill you personally. They are trying to take out the tail gunner as well. It's just, yeah, the bravery. Hard to imagine what that would be like. And then of course we have our top gunner. Another position where you must have felt very exposed, all that glass around you. And enemy fighters ranging in. Just amazing. Okay, we are going to turn in now, and we have flown past Thorpe Abbots while I was showing you all those bits and bobs, so we're going to head back now. And then we can do a flyover. I've not seen what Thorpe Abbots looks like in the sim, so interested to see how that works out. And I'm going to come back a little bit on the engines. I feel like I'm probably running them a little bit too high there. We've got a nice little chart there. So what are we? 25. Okay, so I'm moving back up. And then we'll move the RPM. There we go. Let's calm everything down a little bit. And for anyone who has put in the comments, you were running the engines too high. Yes, I was getting carried away. So I've brought those back in line, and then we can head over to Thorpe Abbots. So I need to try and hit it so it's on the left hand side here so we can get a better view. So thinking about it, I will turn. My lord, this looks great. Just in terms of other visuals, by the way, I'm running Rex Atmos using the Andrew Bennett presets, which are absolutely fantastic. And also I've got the Bijan Seasons, which is obviously affecting my trees as well, and it's all looking rather nice. I love how with this sim and also with 2020 before, we really can see a change in the seasons. It's really nice to see, and I always try and fly the real the time of year as it is outside, because it just adds a little bit to it, doesn't it? Just be careful, just adjusting the engines a little bit there. See some on the markings on the ground there. Quite often these old airfields, you can tell really by the kind of farm tracks and buildings, and you kind of get an idea of where everything is. I'm just trying to guide us in on the map. Coming up to the museum. should be down there somewhere. Oh, looks like we've got a yeah, the museum is there, and I would hazard a guess that that's an old interesting that there is one there though. That's kind of like an auto-gen tower, but that's where the buildings are, and you can kind of see markings, old taxiways. You can kind of see a little bit there in the fields where the runway would have been. That's the beauty of this sim, that you can, oh, look at the shadow on the ground. What a sight. And there it is, where this aircraft, this livery, flew from all those years ago, and those brave crews, and thinking of the lads that didn't come back. Okay, we are going to head back to Duxford now for the bit that I am probably most nervous of, which is landing a B-17 and not doing it in a way that's going to cause any nastiness. Certainly upset this guy here. That would be a bit of a disaster. And I've got to remember, where is it? So the final approach is 90 to 100 miles an hour. So need to remember that. So a quick look over here. That's all good. We can motor on over to Duxford. And then you can have some entertainment with my landing. So this is a time to say, by the way, we do have a Discord stream, Wings, so if you want to come along and say hello, please do. We've got a great mixture of people of all levels, a lot of warbird lovers, also a lot of helicopter people. I'm a big helicopter fan. If you haven't been to the channel before and you like helicopters, there's a lot of helicopter content on the channel. Absolutely addicted to it, and part of that is actually thanks to Sergio from helisimmer.com, and of course the man at MicroProse, because I remember watching a video of his some years ago talking about how to learn to fly helicopters, and it just kind of inspired me to really get into it and get cracking with it, and I'm utterly addicted to helicopters now. What can I say? So yeah, come along and say hello. So my plan for this, being completely honest with you, and being not entirely sure how well it's going to go first time, is that we are going to shoot an approach which may well end up being a go around depending on how it feels. I am not going to mess about. If it feels like it's all going to go wrong, then I will execute a go around and we will have another crack at it. It might be necessarily just to get a feel for the aircraft to start off with and see how she's behaving, but at the moment very nice to fly, but no doubt when we are doing a final approach, trying to make adjustments. You know what I mean? You're flying a visual approach, trying to make adjustments, and a big heavy aircraft is saying, "No, mate, I'm going this way." So it's trying to keep on top of that. Okie doke. So I'm just having a quick look at the checklist here. Before descent, mixture rich, we're already in rich because we haven't gone very high. We will need to put the props into fully forward, so just remembering that for high RPM, and that is all good. Oh yeah, we'll have to remember fuel pumps as well. So the nice thing is, at this stage, it's kind of the obvious things that kind of make sense, so I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be very interesting. But it's one of the things I love about flight simming. I was talking about this on a live stream recently, that there are so many different things you can do. I don't fly airliners, for example. I don't fly big aircraft. But there are people that love it. I fly small GA, single seat warbirds, or single engine warbirds, and helicopters. Not everyone is into that, but I love it. And that's the great thing. There are so many different things that we can do. And one of the things that interests me about having an aircraft like the B-17 in the sim is I might not want to fly a 737 or a 777 or whatever, but it's quite interesting, the idea of flying a big old bird like this. I did have the PMDG DC-6 in 2020, but I never really bothered to get into it, even though I know it's an exceptionally good simulation of an aircraft. I never really got into it, but I kind of feel the B-17, it's just iconic, isn't it? And I'm excited to see what MicroProse do to it. They've obviously got more work to do, and I think they have got the right intent in that they want to make it authentic and they want to remember. So you can't knock them for that. And I kind of feel that they really want to focus on it as well. It's not just another product that they're banging out to hit numbers. They actually want to get it right. They want to make it work. So I'm interested to see what they do with it. I have faith. It's MicroProse, for crying out loud. Think of all those games that they did. That was another one. I think I had a Formula 1, MicroProse Formula 1. Was it Grand Prix or something? I remember that as well. So many sims that they had. You just knew when you went to the computer shop or PC world, as it was back then, because you didn't download these things. When you saw the MicroProse logo on the box, there was that kind of excitement because you knew, okay, this is going to be good. It's going to have a nice manual in it, and it's going to have lots of features and lots of things to get stuck into, lots of immersion. And like I said at the beginning, I remember Strike Eagle 2. Wow, I spent hours on that. I bought it when I was a student on a residential course, and it was quite a long course. And we obviously had to do a lot of studying and that sort of thing. And then in the evening, used to get the Amiga out and play Strike Eagle 2, and it was such good fun. And for me, having come from a ZX Spectrum background with flight sims, it was like a leap into the future. It really was. Okay, so we're not a million miles from Duxford now. What I'm going to do is we're going to do a fly past. Why not? And that kind of has that kind of nice kind of simulation stroke air display simulation kind of feel to it. But first of all, we're going to turn over here. There's that lovely shadow again. Because there's just one more fly pass we're going to do, because it kind of feels right. It feels right in the spirit of what MicroProse are doing, and it feels like the right thing to do. So we are just going to overfly the Cambridge American Cemetery Memorial. So I'm just lining up on that. And again, because of how good the scenery is in this sim, we should see some detail of it. But we're going to obviously fly over Cambridge first. So we've got Cambridge Airport down there. Such a lovely sight looking out over those engines. approach tower controller now looking in wonder at the sky, thinking, what on earth is he doing? So coming up on the cemetery now. It's hard not to feel something when you see something like that, even when it's in a simulator. Okay, let's focus. We got to set up our landing now, so let's come back on the power a little bit. Fuel pumps I left on. Our landing light doesn't function at the moment, so I don't need to worry about that. What have we got here? Filter off above, so that's on ground. Filter off above, so we haven't really gone that high, so filter is still on, although I'd be interested to know what the correct usage of that is. And again, we're not in a fighter, so we're not going to be doing one of these tight curved approaches that we would normally do. I just need to judge and set up a nice long visual approach, this is totally different to anything I normally do, but makes it very interesting to say the least. Oh, I said we're going to do a flyover, didn't I? Yes, we will do a flyover. We'll do a pass. We'll imagine that all those virtual people there that are waiting at the air display there, waiting for the B-17 to do its thing. So I'm going to just put a touch more power back on again. It's a bit premature doing that. So we're not quite doing a run-in and brake, but it's a you get the drift. I remember seeing Sally B at the Battle of Britain air show a few times now, and she does a lovely pass and then comes in for a landing. There's Duxford over there. So we're just going to turn in. Quick check of everything. Engine's looking good. If you missed it at the beginning and you're looking at it now, as I said, the flap indicator at the moment is slightly bugged. It's showing down when in fact they're up. But you'll see when we set up for the landing how that changes. Little pause there as it was doing something, and again obviously loading in some scenery. That could be server side, I guess. So just going to come in and do a nice pass, and I want to come over this way a little bit because I want to bank the wing so they can get to see the silhouette. So just running in. Hello everybody. Rookie B-17 pilot here. Okay, let's focus now. So we're coming back round and we come back on the power a little bit. Now, I don't know, because I don't have it, and is it on here anywhere, what the gear speed is. I don't seem to have anything, so I'm just going to do what feels right. So, quick check here. Props fully fine. Hear them come back in now. It's so funny having an aircraft that's, you know, isn't like a fighter that you're whipping around the sky in. I'm really having to concentrate, which you would think in a big slow bomber wouldn't. It might be a bit easy, but it's not, because it behaves in a different way that I'm used to. The great thing about a fighter is that you can very quickly make adjustments to it. The B-17 isn't like that. You've got to anticipate it, right? Okay, so let's drop the gear. Have we got gear speed there anywhere? No, I was just looking to see if we did have a gear speed. I'm going to drop trimage. Let's have a quick look outside. Excellent. We're dangling the Dunlops. Do you know what, I just realised we're on takeoff. I forgot to lock the tail wheels, so we'll do that now. Right. Watch the speed, boy. You're getting a little bit slow there. So let's turn on the taps and we will have some flap. You see the flap indicator suddenly changed there. That's because that is now working as soon as we put some flap in. Probably a little bit too tight, but let's see. It always amazes me when I do see Sally B how she does seem to she seems nimbler than you'd think she was. Okay, let's come back on the power again a little bit. Another bit of flap. No, you're not really meant to do that in the turn. Just watching that speed like a hawk, anticipating changes. Riding the throttle. Some more flap down. Feeding that change there as the flap came down, watching the speed. Let's have a bit more throttle. A bit more flap. Some more flap now. You can see the effect there every time I adjust the flap. Now, speed is too low. I've now got throttle fully open. We are a little bit too slow here, and it all feels a little bit pear-shaped if I'm honest, but let's see. Let's get the nose down. I have to use a bit more runway than I anticipated. I've really got great view of the runway, so let's come back. Okay, we bounce. Let's do a go around. Flap, incremental, gear up. We can do better than that. Okay, checking engines. Engine's fine. Let's come back there a little bit. And you can see I put the flap fully up now, but the flap indicator then switched down to the bottom. So what happened there? We got scarily slow. with I think what happened was we got into this kind of weird nose high attitude where I had full power on to keep us in the air, but we obviously had nothing in the way of visibility, so we're going to do a much better job of that. Panicked a bit in the go around, and our manifold pressure was quite high. So there we go. Let's try and do this a little bit more smoothly. Like I was saying before, the incredible thing for me, maybe not for you if you've flown a lot of big birds, is just how you have to, I don't know, anticipate, I guess, how you can feel that you've got everything lined up nicely and then all of a sudden it goes pear-shaped. Right, let's come back on the throttle. I'm going to try and give myself a little bit more time to get this one set up nicely. Again, watching the speed. Amazing how realistic the scenery is. There's Duxford over there. There we go. Going to fly slightly wider of the mark than I did before. Just give us a bit more space to get everything set up. So used to doing tight curved approaches. Oh, I tell you what we will do. Our T's and P's. Our T's and P's are okay. I'm not going to mess about with that. I was going to open the cowl flaps, but I think right now I just need to concentrate on landing. I don't think we're overheating. I think our temps seem to be respectable. Okay. Let's remember our flying training, or try to, and take this a little bit better. We're going to fly a slightly nicer, bigger circuit. The ducks were just over there. Give ourselves a bit of a longer run in, I think. Watching the power. Right, we'll dangle the Dunlops. Cut that short just a little bit, but there we go. Right, we'll have one touch of flap. Try and give myself a little bit more height this time, actually. We'll come back on the power a bit. There we go. Okay. Anticipate the nose coming up with the flap. Again, note to self, really, I'm so used to flying curved approaches with warbirds, I'm cutting in a little bit too much there. Don't really want to start messing about with flap in a turn, but let's have a bit more power. So again, I've got full throttle now, trying to fight against the flaps. That's interesting. So the flaps are really having an effect. So I'm actually going to raise the flaps a little bit. Right, let's focus. Focus. Well, that was... oh! Well, we're down. That could have been better. That could have been better. But we are down. I felt we were floating quite a lot, so I kind of felt I had the speed, so I chopped the throttle. Let's raise the flaps. I chopped the throttle, and interested to see what that looks like from the outside. So there you have it. There you have it. We did get down in one piece, which I'm relieved about, although that certainly won't win any awards. And again, this is the great thing about flight sim, it's all about training. I've now got the opportunity to learn. Let's unlock the tail wheel. To learn how to do it. To learn the ropes in the mighty B-17. Anyway, thanks again to MicroProse for giving me the opportunity to show this to you in the sim. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget October the 19th, it's early release. There are still some things going on, but nice to see the B-17 in the sim. So, take care of yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.